remember when I started my fitness journey again in May and June of 2022. Now at that time, I had already started my fitness journey already like so many times because I used to be fat and I wanted to lose the fat, and I kept trying to lose the fat, but I kept failing and failing, right? But anyways, months later, right? Now I'm getting familiar with the idea of self-improvement, improving yourself and all of that. So now it's October of 2022. I start journaling, which is one of the most popular self-improvement habits, right? I start journaling, and then 1 month later, in November of 2022, I make one of the biggest decisions in my whole life. In November of 2022, I quit video games. Now, at that point, video games have been a massive part of my life. Ever since I was a kid, till that point, I've been playing video games like pretty consistently, almost every day. Like video games have been a part of me, a part of my identity. When I was younger, I was the best in class in Fortnite or whatever. Like, like video games were part of my life, part of my identity back when I was younger. But anyways, I quit video games. But anyways, I quit video games, and here I am, almost 3 years later, and I'm still trying to prove myself, as you will never be perfect. Anyways, here are the three stages of self improvement. First stage, novelty. Now, novelty is where everything is shiny, it's all new, it's all fun, your motivation is sky high, it's all fun, right? Because you're still new to all of this and you're motivated to change your life, you're locked in and everything. And it's one of the best times because I still remember like my first days of self improvement. It was the best, right? And anyways, this novelty feeling doesn't stay forever, right? Because after like this is how everyone starts. Everyone almost everyone starts the fitness journey or starts improving themselves, and they start with this crazy amount of motivation, and then they stop, right? So that's the first stage, the novelty stage, where it's all new, it's all fun, and like you're new to all of this. But this stage doesn't last forever, right? Welcome to stage two, which is falling off. Now, for this stage, you've been on self improvement for a while now, and now it differs, right? There's some people who say on self improvement it's all fun and all that for months, and there's some people who say for a couple of weeks, and there's some people who say for a couple of days. Anyways, and now it's all kind of becoming normal. They're not as shiny as they used to be, and you fall off. You get into ruts. You like maybe you will get back to your old habits. You start scrolling. You start wasting time. Your screen time is high again. You're eating junk food. You get back to video games. Whatever like bad habits you quit, you get back to them, and you drastically reduce the good habits. You might even stop the good habits. Like for example, you might have been reading for 1 hour per day and like no scrolling, and now you're scrolling for a couple of hours and you stopped reading. So now you're back to all the bad habits. You stopped the good habits and you fell off, right? Like you were doing so good and you fell off, right? So now this is where most people quit, right? Whatever it may be, like it might have been weeks, months, but some people just quit, right? Yeah, I tried, but I fell off, so they just quit, right? But you have to understand something, which is falling off is part of the journey. Your life won't be just going up and up and up and up. Of course, you experience ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs. But in the long term, you're going up, and that's what matters. Anyways, let's say that you used to read 1 hour, maybe 2 hours per day, and you used to like you stopped scrolling and you don't scroll. But now you fell off and you stopped reading, and you're scrolling for 2 hours per day. You right now might be struggling at that position. You used to be doing so good and you fell off. And now, how do you get back to your prime? It's very simple, which is basically just building again from zero. And now, how do you do that? Of course, you used to read for 2 hours per day. How do you get back to that point? You start from maybe reading for 3 minutes, right? Reading for 3 minutes, and then with time, try to increase until you get to a point where you're satisfied. 1 hour, 2 hours, right? So you have to understand like falling off is part of the journey. But when you fall off, don't just like hate yourself and all that because it's part of the journey. It's normal, right? Just try to build back your way up there, right? And that's how you actually do it. For example, let's say you stop reading, right? You might be that exact person I'm talking about, right? After this video, go read one page, one paragraph, right? And then just with time, keep increasing it until you reach your prime or even more, right? And this example can be applied to everything. Just keep in mind that falling off is part of the journey. No, what matters is that you build that momentum again, because what matters is the long term. Because your experience, of course, in life, ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs. But what matters is that you're going up and down, up and down. But in the long term, you're going up, right? This like straight like line shooting up. It's made of ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs, right? Just keep that in mind. And now let's move to the third stage, flow. And now this stage, it's where everything just becomes normal. This whole self-improvement stuff, it's not a phase. It's your normal life now. It's your normal standard, right? Of course, you strive to improve yourself and everything. You're like, if you fell off, you get back. If you fall, you get up, right? You keep grinding and grinding, right? That's like the flow stage. Well, yeah, you know all this stuff, and you know the ins and outs of self improvement. Of course, you might get into a lot. You might experience the best times of your life, right? And this is where I am right now. There's some periods in my life where I get into lots, right? I'm very unproductive and everything. And there's also some periods in my life where I'm so productive, right? So you haven't said these mistakes that you make when you fall off and all that, they're part of the journey, right? Even if you're like at the final stage, which I just created this from my mind, which is called the flow. I don't think there's like a certain term, but the flow where this thing, all these things are normal now, right? Like this is the normal life for you. Like you, of course, you're striving to improve yourself. You stop the bad habits. If you get back to them, you try to quit them, right? That's the flow stage. And now this stage is kind of beautiful because it's like a video game now. You look at your stats and you realize that you're lacking in your social skills. So now you're focusing on your social skills. Maybe you're broke. Maybe you want to make an online business, so you go focus on that, right? So it's like you're playing this game and now you see your character. Yeah, I'm lacking my social skills. Let's go work on my social skills. Yeah, I'm lacking the financial stat, right? So go and work on it. It's like a game now, right? Of course, you will fall off, but you'll also know how to get back up again. That's the whole thing, right? And that's where I'm currently now. Of course, I do experience thoughts and also do experience the best times of my life, but it's all like a cycle, right? And to be honest, after almost 3 years into being into all of this journey, it's really beautiful to look back and look at where you started from and where you are now, right? So, bro, it is worth it. And that's it. You can also join my free Discord server, which is a brotherhood for like minded brothers who are trying to improve themselves. It's free, don't worry. First link in the description. And that's it. Thank you for watching. Take action. Assalamu alaikum.